A few weeks ago, I released a video that detailed instances in MLB history where a pitcher pitched a perfect game, but it didn't count for whatever reason. I know I saw some comments mention a name that I purposely left out of the video. Well, that name is Rich Hill. Hill has had not only one, he has had two serious perfect game bids through his 16-year career. And I have to say, that number just doesn't sound right. I mean, it's just crazy. Rich Hill has been in the big leagues for 16 seasons. He made his debut in 2005. He's 40 years old. Man. Anyway, Rich Hill has had two serious perfect game bids in his career, and they were within 1 year of each other. Are you ready to get heartbroken? Well, too bad, because I've already queued up the highlights. While we wait for that to load, it might be a good idea to take a quick look at Rich Hill's story. I said that Rich Hill made his debut in 2005. Well, he was first drafted in the 1999 MLB draft by the Cincinnati Reds, but he opted for college baseball. He was then drafted in 2001 by the Anaheim Angels, but he went back to school once more. And in 2002, he finally landed with the Chicago Cubs in the 4th round of that draft. He spent 4 years in the big leagues with the Cubs, but he only had one season where he started over 30 games, which was in 2007. He spent much of his time with the Cubs either in the minor leagues or on the sidelines with an injury. Between 2009 and 2015, Hill played for quite a few teams, being mainly used as a reliever. Tommy John surgery in 2011 really halted his career progression, but he did have some solid seasons during this time frame. And then we move on to 2015, which was a pretty eventful year for Hill. At 35 years old and having just been cut by the Washington Nationals mid-season, Hill was offered a contract by the Long Island Ducks, an independent baseball team. He pitched 2 starts for them before the Boston Red Sox gave him a minor league contract, which would be his second stint with the team. In 4 starts with the Red Sox, he made a noticeable impression, prompting the Oakland A's to sign him to a 1-year deal worth $6 million. After many seasons filled with spring training invites, and after a year where he was cut by the Nationals, played for an independent baseball team, and spent his last month with the Red Sox, he finally earned a guaranteed major league contract. After half a season of great pitching with the Athletics, including an opening day start, and receiving an American League Pitcher of the Month award, he was traded along with Josh Reddick to the Dodgers. He made his debut on August 24th, throwing 6 scoreless innings in a win against the Giants. A couple of weeks later, he faced the Miami Marlins. And I think the video should be done loading by now. Alright, so the date is September 10th, 2016. And as you know, Rich Hill is pitching the ball really well. If we look at his 2016 stat lines before this date, he didn't allow more than 3 earned runs in a game. That's really all that needs to be said. Let's check out some key highlights from this game. Every perfect game and no-hitter needs a great defensive play, and this play by Jock Peterson came early in the game. Just a great diving catch by Peterson. Home runs by Jock Peterson, Corey Seager, and Justin Turner gave Hill a sizable lead to work with. In the 6th inning, we see Hill strike out the side. By the end of the inning, he has only thrown 75 pitches. In the 7th inning, with 2 outs, Hill threw his 89th pitch of the game, and Yasiel Puig made a fantastic catch to keep the perfect game intact. Well, manager Dave Roberts made the decision to take Hill out of the game. At this point in the season, the Dodgers were at the top of the NL West and were gearing up for a playoff run. Knowing the injury history of Rich Hill, I can see why Roberts kept him out of the game, as it does say on the end card that Hill was taken out due to a blister. Although you can't say that Hill was a fan of this move. But Joe Blanton was no slouch. At this point in the season, he was a pretty solid reliever out of the Dodgers bullpen. Well, after getting 2 batters out with 1 strike remaining in the inning, Jeff Francoeur lined the ball to Corey Seager, who failed to make the catch. Hill had spent the last 2 seasons fighting an uphill battle, no pun intended, to get where he was. He finally earned a guaranteed contract and was traded to a playoff team. A perfect game would have cemented his legacy, but he could only sit by and watch. Hill and the Dodgers got the win, but at what cost? Well, Hill did sign a 3-year deal worth $48 million heading into his age 37 season, so that's nice. But this isn't where the story ends. If you remember the title, you'll see there is a number 2 in there. And I have to say, it only gets worse from here. Less than 1 year later, on August 23rd, 2017, Hill was starting a game against the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Dodgers were far and away the best team in baseball. They were the only team with over 80 wins at this point, and they were only 1 win away from reaching 90. Rich Hill wasn't pitching quite at the level as 2016, but he was still valuable in that rotation. So let's get into the game. Hill started the game with a strikeout, so that's a good sign. An inning later, Josh Bell was initially called safe on an infield hit, and when you look at the slow motion race to first, you see that Bell did get his foot on the bag first. However, when you look at some other replays, you see that Hill tagged Bell right before. A great play by Hill, but it definitely wasn't the only notable defensive play of that game. A couple of innings later, Curtis Granderson made this catch to keep the 3rd inning going. The catch isn't what I'm surprised about. I was surprised that Curtis Granderson was on the Dodgers. Did you guys know that? Because I didn't. Man. Anyway, an inning later, Adrian Gonzalez made a sliding catch to keep the perfect game going. But the defensive highlights only get better from here. For the next few innings, Hill cruised through Pirates hitters, which leads us to the bottom of the 8th inning, where Chase Utley made the catch of the game. Hill is excited. Dodgers fans are excited. Pirates fans are annoyed. It's going pretty well at this point. Hill nearly lost the perfect game on a 3-2 count against Sean Rodriguez. Did Hill get a call? I would say when the ball crossed the plate, it was a strike. But where it was caught, it was a ball. Either way, this was only the 87th pitch of Hill's 8-inning outing. The year prior, Hill threw 89 pitches through 7 innings. He needed 1 more inning of perfection, and he would be facing the bottom 3 of the order. Everything was lining up perfectly, except for this ground ball to Logan Forsythe, which tragically ended the perfect game bid. Yeah, Logan Forsythe misread a ground ball, which would end the perfect game bid. Thankfully, it was classified as an error, so Hill still had the no-hitter going. With 3 outs remaining in the inning, he could still make history. A bunt by Chris Stewart gets rid of the double play opportunity, but it's a free out. Pinch hitter Jose Osuna hits a soft ground ball to Forsythe, but he was able to get the out this time. And then he gets Starling Marte to ground out. An unofficial no-hitter has been thrown by Rich Hill. He lost the perfect game in a heartbreaking way, but a no-hitter is still a nice consolation prize. But unfortunately for Hill, the Dodgers just couldn't get their offense going. Unlike the previous year, Roberts actually kept Hill in the game, despite the pitch count. 95 pitches is not an unreasonable number to start the 10th inning with. In fact, it's quite impressive. But Josh Harrison, on the 99th pitch, did this.
Harrison hits a high drive to left. Granderson onto the warning track. Leaps and gone!
The no-hitter was broken up in the 10th inning on a walk-off home run. Hill is the only pitcher in Major League history to have a no-hitter broken up in extra innings by a walk-off home run, and he's only the 2nd pitcher to have lost it on a walk-off hit, with the last person being Harvey Haddix in 1959, where he lost a perfect game and no-hitter in the 13th inning. Hill threw less than 100 pitches. He threw only 10 more pitches than he did the year prior when he was taken out due to blisters. In less than 100 pitches, he threw a no-hitter and he essentially threw a perfect game. The error is on Forsythe, not Hill. He didn't allow a single walk through 9 innings. And Hill is also the only pitcher in MLB history to have had a perfect game broken up by a fielding error in the 9th inning. The Dodgers had 89 wins in the middle of August, and they couldn't muster up a single run. What else can you say? Well, actually, there's a little more you can say. Hill is the only starting pitcher in history to record a loss after allowing only 1 hit, no walks, and striking out at least 10 batters. He's only the 3rd pitcher to pitch a complete game 1 hitter and still pick up the loss, which sounds like something Jacob deGrom would do. And when you look at this chart, you find out that the home run Harrison hit had an exit velocity of only 93.6 miles per hour and a launch angle of 33 degrees. There was only a 1 out of 10 chance of this actually clearing the fence, and Harrison just happened to pick the shortest and closest one. Rich Hill lost these perfect game bids in some of the worst ways imaginable. The situations were so different, yet so alike at the same time. In one instance, he pitched 7 perfect innings but had to sit and watch his accomplishment be taken away from him. In the other scenario, he pitched 8 perfect innings and could only stand and watch his fielder misplay a ground ball. And after all of that, after pitching 9 no-hit innings, his offense couldn't muster up a single run. This is a guy that fought for over a decade and finally earned his big life-altering contract. I don't think it's too much to ask for a little more, but the baseball gods work in mysterious ways. Currently, Rich Hill is 40 years old and is still holding his own, currently pitching with the Minnesota Twins. It's unlikely that Hill pitches another game like these, but I hope he proves me wrong. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did. Rich Hill really has an incredible story that I couldn't fit in this entire video, so I'm gonna leave a link to a video in the description, and this video was made by fellow baseball content creator 102 Seams, formerly known as Hardball Productions. He made a great video on Rich Hill's story, and it should be viewed by as many people as possible, so go check it out if you're interested. Also, I don't know if you saw my community post, but I just want to say a quick sincere thank you for 10,000 subscribers. It's truly amazing to see how far this channel has gone, and the grind isn't stopping anytime soon. So subscribe if you want to stick around. Thanks for watching.